David Folarami, the founder of Live Free Renewal Center, on the launch of his new center, Live Free Renewal Center 2 in Adulam Camp. Big congratulations to Mr. David Folarami, who is actually someone that recovered from such a condition some years ago. Now let's take a look at our first discussion. Flooding in Ugwuoye has persisted for several years. While previous administrations have made attempts to address the issue, a lasting solution has remained elusive. However, recent reports indicate that renewed efforts are underway to mitigate the impact. Now, to shed more light on this, using a local government lens, we're joined now by Engineer Jude Asogwa, Chairman of the Nsukka Local Government Area of Enugu State. Engineer Asogwa, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, and good morning, viewers. Good morning, our people. It's my pleasure to be here so that we can estray our strategies on trying to combat this flood. It's something we met when we came on board, and we're doing all our bit to make sure that will provide a lasting solution. And the good news is that even the state government are ready to partner with us on this particular issue. So we're assuring our citizens that by His grace, we're going to get a lasting solution to it.
That's fantastic. So now let's begin with painting a picture of flooding in Nsukka. We've been focusing on Ugwuoye. Is that the only area affected by this kind of flooding? Do we have other areas? Could you please paint a picture of what exactly is going on in the local government?
Okay. What happened is that when we came on board, we took a holistic analysis of both the environment, the infrastructure, security, and all that. And as God may have it, I also have a BS in environmental science and resource management, so I have idea of what it has to do with flood and environmental activities. So when we finish that, we'll find out that there is this persistent case of flooding in Nsukka Local Government because, one, the topography of the local government environment. Then we also find out that the previous administration, as you have said, like about 12 years ago, there was this, our former local government chairman, late Honorable Oti, that tried to do some sort of remedy to flood. So there is where they did a water collection point, they call it Iwoti. So where they can channel the flood. So when we now came on board, we saw what the past administration did. They did a fantastic job, just that they had a closed drainage system that is about 1 kilometer. And then we find out that you remember there was a time we banned these people they call iron condemn, because we find out that these people went inside that tunnel and cut off all the iron they use as a sieve in that tunnel. And the citizens on their own, when it's raining, you see them running with debris and all this and pouring it inside the waterway. So the whole thing got blocked. So when we came on board, we engaged first local contractor. He did his best, and then we had the rainfall. We find out that he didn't get it right. We engaged another person. So same thing. Last 2 weeks, we flew in somebody that is a consultant that worked with the mother company that constructed the road. He came after the assessment. He said that maybe they have to come back during dry season to get a permanent solution. Although I was angry with him because being an engineer, I told him, how could you people have done a closed drainage close to 1 kilometer without putting serviceable chambers at maybe 1 meter or 1.5 meter interval, so that engineers can go in or environmental workers can go in and service the chambers before the rainy season. So the problem we're having in Nsukka about Ugwuoye flooding is that underground drainage is closed. And all efforts we have made to get it open, they are saying is during dry season they are going to get a permanent solution. So what we now did is that we're trying to get an alternative so that we can mitigate this crisis this season. So we discussed with the church. Because that place, because there was a last week or thereabout, I heard one where they were reporting that the school were leaking and all that in Ugwuoye. I felt so bad because I know His Excellency have a genuine intention for our people, and setting up the smart school, they take cognizance of where there is flooding and all that. What happened there was not a result of maybe leakage of schools and all. It was just pure flood. And that flood had been there over years. So I had to discuss with the church. They gave us some place we are trying to do a water collection point, like about 30, 50 meters deep. We'll cast it so that we can use it for this season. By the dry season, we'll now get a permanent solution. What is the solution? Just to open up those closed drainage, service it and make it a closed open drainage so that we can easily open it up, access it and clean it up constantly. There's other locations like the clips I sent to your station. There's other locations. If you go to Tectonis Road, you go to Barracks, and we're also monitoring the NIMET weather forecast. That is why immediately we came on board, we set up a environmental committee because they predicted from July to November there is going to be a heavy rainfall. So all we are doing, we're not only cleaning, you can see this is my SPA on environment and wash. Water sanitation and hygiene. So they are just on the road trying to clean up the place and create awareness. We declared a state of emergency on environment in Nsukka. Imagine this movement was done by our SPA on environment, joined by the deputy chairman of the local government. So when it comes to environment, when it comes to the concern and the well-being of our people, we don't play politics with it. Because what we said that we have come to give the dividends of democracy to our people. Yes, the flooding is a challenge. What is the good news? The good news is that we have the modalities to combat this and make sure that by His grace, after dry season, we'll get the solution permanently.
All right.
We're also working through, because I was even thinking that maybe it was wholly human factor. Right, so I guess some technicalities are in it right now. So working with even the commissioner for the commission, environmental commission for Enugu State and all that, right, and trying to get this whole flood to a halt. People in Ugwuoye to stop. It's actually damaging, right? People are living around there, shops. People moving around and all that stuff, travelers and all that, right? So getting a lasting solution, as you stated, you've consulted the church around there to, get a duct to could contain the water and all that. So, but is this going to, bring a lasting solution that maybe another rain coming maybe next week or next 2 weeks thereabout and all that stuff? Is this going to control that flooding for now, leading to the dry season when the channel constructed could be, cleaned up and, as you stated, put to use?
Yeah, I believe with this particular solution and also constant. If you see that place, we distilled it so many times, and we're also going on awareness to our people. Imagine when it starts raining, excuse me, and you see our noble citizens rushing to waterways to drop dirt as if there is somebody at the end, at the other end, to collect it, and all these things pile up in that waterway. So what we are trying to do by His grace, if we finished these things we are doing, that water collection point, we feel it can handle it for the moment, so that by dry season we'll get a lasting solution.
Okay, I was going to ask you this question too. Now, coming to the environmental, because apparently when people pick up dirt to go drop in those channels and all that, leading to the blockage and leading to flooding. Right? So what is the your government doing in Nsukka in collection of wastes? From the individuals, the citizens living there, other than them always waiting for maybe when it's raining, they're packing up their dirts to go and throw into the channels and canals to
exactly. What's the collaboration with the State Waste Management Authority?
No, there is a very strong collaboration. It's just what we're trying to do is to reorientate our people. Imagine most of them that do that thing. There is a Eswama bucket just close to them.
They leave it to go.
They leave it to go and throw it inside the waterways. Like when they were doing this awareness, if maybe the video is not here, you could see that at the back of that place, the SPA on environment is giving people opposite Peace Park. You could see Eswama big bucket. at that place. Instead of them throwing the waste inside that bucket, some of them would prefer to keep it on that traffic, So this is the thing we are doing. In that my clip, you could see we have been doing so many awareness, telling people. We also even got to a point where we got a mobile court. We declare state of emergency on our environment, telling people that if we catch you, we are going to prosecute you. All these things is just to reorientate their mind. Right. That one, just like the church will say that cleanliness is nearest to godliness.
Okay, you know? So let me just jump in now. We see in Enugu State, the Ministry of Transport, if you are able to bypass the traffic lights, you know you're going to have your wheels clamped. Yeah. So what is the enforcement like when it comes to this waste management? Because the people know that when they dump refuse, they're going to be clamped. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know if they don't have wheels to be clamped, but maybe something else to be clamped. What is the enforcement drive? The enforcement drive is just what we are doing now, just like what I mentioned some seconds ago, that we have also activated what we call a mobile court. Yeah. So where if we arrest you disposing your refuse indiscriminately, we will take you to mobile court. Either you pay a fine or you'll be tried. So all these things we are doing is just trying to bring to our people, our citizens, knowledge that the best thing to do is to do the right thing. It doesn't take anything from you that the state, in collaboration with the local government, have provided a waste dump. Go there and drop your refuse. The SWOMA people goes through that dumps every day and collect the refuse dumped in that place. But you find people they will tie it and throw it. There are some people who have arrested. Somebody is driving his car. He just wind down, put hand in his car, brought our refuse and throw it by the roadside. And we arrested the man. The funny thing that he's a very civilized human being. It's not as if he's one of the locals that don't understand what cleanliness is all about. So the efforts we are doing is we're trying to make sure that we create this awareness. We let them understand that the importance of having a clean environment. Just like what the state government is doing, this program we are doing together with state government about ODF, open defecation and all that. So you see the government genuinity of having a clean environment for the citizens. But you still see people that try to abuse it. And when you enforce it, the next thing people will run and say, the government is harsh, the government, although we are too focused to be distracted, because we believe once we have the genuine intention of our people, just like our principal, His Excellency Barrister Peter Ndubisimba, what matters is the genuinity of the intention you have for the people. So we have a good enforcement program, but what we are doing is that we are creating serious awareness so that people will know that when we arrest you, you have been informed. We have gone as far as even announcing it in radios, in churches, and everywhere. We go to every market and announce it with our dialect, so that you don't say you don't understand what we're doing. So thus for desensitization, how are people aligning already with it, or they're still doing what they do? No, to be frank, I give it to them. At least a good number of them are aligning, a reasonable percentage. In fact, I will not be wrong to say that at least 60-65% are complying with us. All right. Okay. Now let's talk about how or what this means for the daily commute in Nsukka. Yeah. We see the Ugwuoye flood. We know that's a major road that connects Enugu with Nsukka, the metropolis to Nsukka. Yeah. How does this flood affect the daily commute of travelers, of people that want to just go from point A to point B? What does it mean to the average Enugu resident? No, it is very, very unfortunate that it affects our people, and we don't feel good about that. That is why you see us making every effort to make sure that we have a seamless, the commuters have seamless access to the roads to convey their passengers to where they're going and all that. So we know that it's not good to our citizens, and we are doing our best to make sure that we'll solve this problem. It is our problem. That place, let me even tell you, that place is close to the church. In the hierarchy of the church, after the bishop, the pope, bishop, and reverend fathers, the next people you get are the knights. I'm a knight in the church, in Roman Catholic Church. So if there's anybody that will protect the interests of the church, we are the soldiers of Christ. So for the fact that that flood is close to the church and close to the school, it gives me
anytime it starts raining, I feel so bad. I might be happy now, but once it starts raining, you see my mood change because I know that some people are going to be affected to this.
Yes.
And we're doing everything humanly possible to make sure that we control this flood.
There are people that would be planning to travel to Nsukka today.
Yeah.
And they're looking at this Ugwuoye flood and they're wondering, what does it mean? Could you tell us what it means to the traveler? How does it affect the journey toward Nsukka?
No, what we have done is that we also created awareness and we have alternate routes where they can use, like if you are leaving from Peace Park now to Enugu, instead of going through Ugwuoye, you go through Shanahan, come through Achara Road, and then cut it off. It's not as if it's the only access road that enters Nsukka. We have like 2-3 alternatives where you can leave Nsukka from. So what we did is that we try to educate the drivers. Please, once it rains, follow this route so that the passengers, the travelers will have free access to where they are going to meet up with their appointment. We know you won't feel good that you're traveling and you have some hiccups along the way. But we're doing our best to make sure that we provide the alternate routes for them to be using to access Nsukka seamlessly for now.
Okay, given the urgency of this flooding, right, and also you stated that there's a duct being dug, to contain these waters and, to leave a free flow, on the road. So given the urgency, is there any timeline for that to be completed? So we wouldn't experiencing what we're experiencing.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is that we're trying our very best to make sure that at least before second week of July, we must have finished it. The challenges we're having in building that water collection point is also rain. You understand me? Once it rains, the whole pit will get filled up with rain. They will have to evacuate it and start working. So it's just a battle we're trying to see how we can mitigate. Because from NIMET weather forecast, it is stated that from July to November we're going to have a heavy rainfall. So that is what I'm saying. Is not only in Ugwuoye, we're also cleaning up all other waterways, doing other water collection points at other places where we experienced flooding. So we're trying to make sure, if not that, by His grace, we started earlier to clean all the waterways. It could have been a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
One would ask about proactivity because it was almost as if it was more of a revelation by Afia TV. What proactive steps were taken before the news about the Ugwuoye flood came to light?
That is just what I was saying. It doesn't take anything to be proactive. That is my belief. And we did everything. One of the proactive measures we took is that immediately we came on board, we engaged a contractor that cleaned. If you watch that clip, the contractor cleaned up all the waterways and assured us that he had finished doing the job. We even had issues with him. He said we should sign job completion order. We say, no, please, this is a practical thing. Allow us, let's have one rainfall. If the whole thing passed through, we even give you a commendation letter. So we were having that issue with him, as God may have it. Then there was a rainfall the next day, and the whole thing was flooded. The man never came back.
Oh, wow.
You understand me? We engaged another contractor. So it had been back to back. We are doing contract, we are doing direct labor, we are doing semi-direct labor, just trying to make sure that we curtail all this. We knew there is flooding, that we knew it's going to happen. And that is why we started early to see how we can clean it up. Had it worked, we couldn't have been in this mess. In
terms of communication, like Oji rightly pointed out, there is an emergency. What efforts is being made by the local government to communicate through local radio stations the alternative routes that travelers could follow? Because if I last visited Nsukka 10 years ago, I might just fly the Ugwuoye road and then I'll start swimming, my vehicle and I, right? So what efforts is being made to sensitize people beyond waste management to alternate routes they can follow while this challenge is being combated?
We are doing a very good effort on that. We also last week or thereabouts, some of our environmental team had a meeting with media team on strategies on how to communicate. What we normally do is that most of the announcement that gets to locals will pass through the church, will pass through the local radios, and then we'll also do some sort of a road show to tell people, and then we get to, you can see the SP on environment sharing flyers to people and all that. So we're also going to have a team moving to the commuters, like we have major transporters, the Peace Mass Transit. You can see our SPA on the environment, trying just to create awareness for people and all that. So we are doing our best to make sure that people have this knowledge. And one of the efforts, as God may have it, we're on live radio and on live television in Afia TV, telling people that there's alternate road you can apply if you are coming to Nsukka. Once you get to that Cospam, there's where they call Fem Park. You just take either Timber Shade Road, bus down to Bishop Shanahan, and continue. If you are going to UNN, you continue. So it is not as if Ugwuoye Road is the only road that you use to access Nsukka. No, we have multiple roads you can access Nsukka to.
All right. So for this season, are you recommending that people avoid the Ugwuoye Road? Yeah,
we are recommending that if you can use our alternate road, while we're still doing our best to control that flood. Aside from the water collection points we are doing, you can still see our team trying to link up the flood to other channels. You can see there was where they are using drill to drill up an opening to see if we can divert those floods to other places to reduce the impact on Ugwuoye Road.
Okay. What lasting legacy would you want your administration to leave regarding flooding in Ugwuoye or other flood-prone areas or axes in Nsukka?
Okay, the lasting solution we want to leave is that we pray that at the end of our administration, flooding, especially at Ugwuoye axis, will be a thing of past. We want people to say, it is during our administration that we got a permanent solution to this flooding.
Yes, because it's just like the water crisis in Enugu, that has also transcended, exceeded, surpassed successive administration. So I think that would be a great medal to add to your repository. Now, talking about security matters in Nsukka, recently a UNN student was kidnapped on campus. I understand that she has been released. We don't have much information around it. Could you tell us, more details around what happened? Was it the 10 million naira ransom paid? What really happened?
Okay. You see, when it comes to security, when we came on board, we did some security assessment, and we invited our Nsukka sons and daughters, top security personnel that have retired, and we say this is time to give back to your community. So we invited some DSS, military, and all that. We had a seminar with them. Then after that, we overhauled our neighborhood watch. Because we find out when we came on board, you call somebody that is a member of Neighborhood Watch, he will tell you he's in Port Harcourt, some will tell you he's in Lagos. So they were seeing it as political opportunities where you get paid without doing anything. So we dissolved them and set up a fresh neighborhood watch with the help of, they were trained by those personnel, DSS and police. So we had it 10 per community. We have 52 communities in Nsukka Local Government. So we have 520 neighborhood watch people. They're still going to get another training about intelligence gathering next week. We're planning that with some security agency. What's happened in UNN is that we have been trying, like I wrote to them immediately we came on board, that we want the CSO of the university to be joining us in our security meeting so that we know what is happening there. You don't just go and close yourself off. You understand me? So let us partner, let us work together. If that partnership is there and that kind of incident happens, what you do is to alert our people. We have our security strategies on how to safeguard our place, and we'll make sure we'll trap it down. You understand me? But we believe that with this, there's going to be a more collaboration. For a very long time, it has been just as if a high institution in a town just cut off from the activities. So, like on 23rd of last month, I delivered a lecture in UNN on ethical leadership and development at the grassroots level, where I was trying to let the professor, the academics inside the school to understand that leadership at local level everybody has to get involved. The professors, the people inside the university needs to partner with us. Let us stop seeing it as University of Nigeria and Nsukka Local Government. There should be a synergy. between both of us. So it will go a long way to help us. Security-wise, we are doing our best. We also give it to His Excellency Barrister Peter Ndubisimba, because he's partnering with us and he's backing us up. And I want our people to appreciate him. His Excellency is somebody that visits every local government quietly on fact findings. Last Sunday, he quietly came to my local government on fact findings to know the situation of security, know the situation of everything. He needs to get on the spot assessment. You can't just tell him on phone. If he wants to find out something, he will get there. You will be there at the spot and you'll be explaining to him. So having such a person as a governor, you don't have any other choice than to sit up. You understand?
All right, so the students being released, could you tell us more? Do you have any information as to
the student being released? Can I just leave it? It's a security matter. It's not what we'll come and discuss on air. The good news is that she has been released.
But thus far, the synergy you're talking about, are they aligning already?
Yes,
the UNN security architecture and that of the Nsukka Local Government Area?
Yeah, they're aligning, and the current VC is wonderful. He's also pushing for us to have a serious synergy between the university community and the local government as a whole. There's even water project that the university is doing, that partnering with Nsukka Local Government to give water to a neighboring community close to the university. So in security activities, we're also aligning, and we have our strategies that I wouldn't want to review on air.
Okay, so then let's talk about what you may be able to reveal, the local government's allocation. Has that been disbursed from the federal government?
No, we have not getting allocation right now.
The federal government has not disbursed funds for the local government?
For the month?
Generally, has the disbursement started?
Direct to
the local government,
the allocation for the local government?
One thing is this, in Enugu State, I might tell you for free that we might not even know the difference between federal government disbursing